You've seen the big plays.
Jerand stepping to his right, looking, stopping, firing, end zone, touchdown!
You've heard what the playmakers and coaches have had to say.
Up press Graves, got it!
But now it's time to go behind the mic with BYU sports broadcasters to get their distinctive take on the games.
Oh, what an aggressive play!
This is Behind the Mic with host Cleon Wall.
We're here to bring you unique insights and stories from the BYU sports broadcasters who cover the Cougars and from the Cougars themselves. No Cougars again this week, but more opponents. We're focusing on the interviews Jason Shepard did with the opponents of the Cougars at Big 12 Media Days. First up, Texas Tech's Tony Bradford.
Let's start talking on the defensive side of the football. I'm assuming it's probably where it'd be a good place to start for you.
Let's do it.
What do you make of the defense and the defensive line this year?
Just our effort. We're going to run to that ball. We're going to be hard-working guys. We're going to dominate up front. That's number 2 on our plan to win, is to dominate up front. And so we just got to live up to the expectations from our coaching staff and expectations from our fan base as well.
Based off of last year, where do you feel like the defense, and maybe specifically the defensive line, can make the biggest jump heading into this year?
Just continuing to win the line of scrimmage. We got after the quarterback pretty good last year, so we got to do it even better this year. Because that's what our fans are expecting from us now. We showed them what we're capable of doing last year, even with the help of Tyree Wilson, who is now, number 7 pick in the NFL draft first round. Even though he's gone, we can't downgrade at all. We gotta, if anything, we gotta step it up since he is gone to show the world that, you can't replace a guy like him, but we're also not in desperate need for him as well. Like, we still got older guys that can still play, and we still got guys that was under him that has now moved up, that's gonna dominate and show what they can do as well this year.
Well, and that shows what good of a program Texas Tech is, that you've got the depth to be able to do that. And, you lose a guy like you mentioned to the NFL, but the expectations don't change, do they?
Absolutely. You can't let them change. It's an insult to, people like me that's still around and to the other guys that's there now. Like, if we do allow the expectations to change, for fans to be like, we can't expect them to attack the quarterback this year because Tyree is gone. Why not? What do you mean? We can get after him a little bit more now.
Yeah.
since he's not taking up all the quarterback sacks now, we can kind of share him around and spread him out a little bit now.
Now, look, preseason polls are what they are. What did you make of where the Big 12 picked Texas Tech?
Where did they pick us again?
Fourth.
As you can see, I don't be paying attention to the preseason stuff because all my life, since high school ball, like preseason stuff has just never really been on my side or my team side at that moment, and there's nothing I can really do or say about it. It's just one of those things that you can just look at and hopefully it adds fuel to your fire if it's not where you want to be. And obviously, fourth is not where we're not even thinking about that right now. Like, are you serious? Like, that's where y'all. That's how y'all think this program is going to be by the end of the season? It's a little disrespectful, but at the end of the day, I'm using that, and I'm just thinking about stuff like that every day. I'm in the weight room, every day I'm outside conditioning and doing extra work with my teammates and with the strength and conditioning staff. You got to think about stuff like that because that's what's going to get you going through the off season and prepare you to, have a great camp and then also go out there and prove yourself for the season.
What's a workout like for you, by the way? Take me through what because you talked about getting yourself and using that as motivation. How do you get yourself right that way from working out and getting it in that aspect of things?
I wake up at 4:30 every day.
Every day?
Every day.
That is dedication.
I woke up at 5 today.
Oh, so you slept in a little bit.
I slept in a little bit
today.
So I feel a little good.
Okay.
Waking up at 4:30 every day because my day typically starts with, obviously waking up, getting ready, walking my dog, and then obviously going to the football facility for a 6 a.m. treatment.
Yeah.
And then at 7 a.m., that's when my workout group starts. So we go from 7 to around 8 for part 1 for the day. You got like an hour lift, and then part 2 is the team run. That's around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'm obviously got academic stuff that I'm doing throughout that time and other training room stuff to prepare myself. But you use that because it can get a little tiring when you think about it. Like when you got to do that constantly every single day, and the season, it's around the corner now, but it wasn't like that in January. It wasn't like that in February. And so you got to use that the expectations and what the fans are telling you and around the city when they see you, like, man, we believe in y'all. We can't wait to see how y'all perform this year. That has to be a part of your why because that's going to keep you going. That's going to make you, anxious to prove yourself and to make them proud, make your family proud, make yourself proud, make this coaching staff proud, and just make your teammates proud. To just go out there and win with your brothers and dominate the conference. That's been a dream all my life.
Well, and the workouts in January and February and March, that could be the difference in what happens during the season. The stuff when nobody's watching, that could be some of the most important parts.
The season don't start in September. It starts immediately after, you come back from your little Christmas break or New Year's break or so. It starts immediately for report day in January.
Yep.
That's when it starts. And what happens from there until game one, that's going to show like what you've been doing this entire offseason. Now, obviously, injuries and stuff like that stuff can happen throughout the game. There's nothing you can do about that. But if you're not in shape, if you're not strong enough, that's a reflection of what you've been doing. That's a reflection of what your program has been doing. And we're not trying to embarrass ourselves like that. We're trying to make our strength coaches look like they actually know what they're doing, because they are. Those guys are professionals. I mean, my coach has won national championship, the Big 12. Like, these guys know what they're doing. They know what it takes. And so we just got to trust them and just continue to just do what we got to do each and every day to, to prove ourselves this season.
You're a Houston guy. I've got to imagine. Well, I guess I don't want to assume. What did you make of Houston being invited into the Big 12 along with BYU and obviously UCF and Cincinnati? A couple of additions, but your hometown.
We got those schools that's now part of the Big 12. They were the best in their previous conference. That's going to add some good competition levels to this conference, especially once the other two opponents leave or so. It's not really new to play Houston because I played them for the past 2 years now. It was just obviously not for the Big 12 conference. It was just for the three regular, the preseason, non-conference games or so. And so I'm used to playing them. And I always loved playing them because I just always had this chip on my shoulder with U of H because I'm from that city, and I still hold it personal that they never gave me a full ride offer. Like, I wouldn't have committed there because I wanted to get out the city, but it's just the fact of how do y'all not recruit y'all guys heavy from the city like that. So I still hold that a little personal. That's why every time we play them, and for some reason they don't like Texas Tech. I don't know what we've done to them besides just win or so.
That may do it though.
I guess that'll do it. But they don't like us, for different reasons or whatever. That's fine. It's nothing personal against them. I like playing them because I like them coming up to Lubbock. They to get to experience that West Texas heat and experience how fast our offense can play. And then they're a great competitive team. That's a good program over there. They got some guys that can really play, and some guys going to be really good in the NFL. So it's always a pleasure playing those guys.
All right. Speaking of experiences, and we'll end on this. You guys are coming to Provo this year, so you'll play BYU in Provo. Maybe just thoughts on BYU specifically. Like, what do you know about BYU? Have you ever been to the state of Utah? Maybe just your thoughts on the Cougars.
I know absolutely nothing about BYU besides when I watch y'all play like them late night games. When we're getting ready for our game or something for the next day or so. We'll always just be in a hotel room, go to bed watching y'all because y'all come on so late for different reasons, and we just be surprised that, man, the fan base is crazy. Like, I'm just looking at it on TV and I'm like, oh my goodness, those guys play hard. Like, that's a team that loves each other. That's a team that can really compete. And I'm excited to play y'all. I think it's going to be a really good competition. I'm not looking at it just because y'all new to the conference as in, that's an automatic win for us. No, we're going to have to go there in their home, take over and, earn the right to win just like y'all are. And it's going to be a great competition because y'all fans show up and show out. And y'all players play really hard. So I'm excited to, not only get to experience Utah and see the mountains and see how beautiful it is, but, obviously get a chance to breathe that atmosphere because I heard it can be a little crazy up there to breathe in, but we'll see how everything goes.
Appreciate the time. Thank you very much.
Now here's Red Raider Jerand Bradley.
We were just talking before the interview started. Like, media day is kind of like a tease. It's not really fair because you get here, you're surrounded by all the football stuff. You're talking football, and then by the way, you have to wait another month and a half before you can play games. Is that crazy?
It's so crazy. It's just we've been working hard all summer. It's like we're just ready to play, honestly.
What have you been working on specifically this offseason heading into the year?
I feel like as a receiver, I just work on everything. Just like speed, strength, route running, everything as a whole. I don't try to just look at one thing. I try to look at like my whole overall game. So really just everything I can get better on.
This offense was really good last year. What makes this offense so good, and how do you build off of what was established last year?
I feel like the players that we have in the offense, and we know like our roles very well, and then the scheme is amazing with Coach Kidley, what he writes up for us is just amazing, and he just knows what can help us get open, and then us being able to play different positions is just it's amazing, and then the offense just flourishes, honestly.
And look, I mean, when you've got a quarterback like Tyler, sky's the limit, right?
Yeah, facts. With his experience, it's just he knows what to check, what defenses like to call certain plays to. It's really just amazing with having Tyler.
What is a day like today? You know, we were having fun with it a second ago, but what is a day like, media day like for a player? Because you're going through, you're doing interview after interview after interview and photo shoots and all that stuff. Is it a draining day, or is it sort of an energizing day because of what we were talking about? Because it does lead to camp and then the season.
I'll say I'm going into my junior year. It's amazing, honestly. I feel like I'm a young guy. Just being able to get this opportunity is amazing. It's a blessing. It's not draining at all. I'm happy to be here. I'm just so
seem
thankful.
happy to be here. I like that.
I'm just so thankful to be here, honestly.
What's the best part about playing football? You seem like a pretty positive guy. You're really enjoying it. So, what's the best part of it?
Honestly, I just love being with my teammates every day. Those are my brothers, so it's just so fun just being able to compete with them every day. Just we get each other better every day, so it's so fun.
Who are you closest to on the team? Who do you hang out with?
My roommates like Cam Valdez, Jacoby, Duda Banks, Charles Esters, and then really all my teammates. I really talk to all my teammates. We're all like a family, literally. Like I talk to everybody.
Do you guys go out and do things as a group? When you're away from football, what do you guys do?
We hang out like at someone's house. We'll just hang out, just play games, stuff like that. We do a lot of bonding together, and then we do like a lot of team bonding, like main event stuff like that. So we're always together.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So 4 new teams coming in, BYU being one of them. You will play in Provo this year, Lavelle Edwards Stadium.
Yes, sir.
What do you think of the additions that the Big 12 has made?
I'm super excited. I feel like they're gonna add a lot of juice to the conference, a lot of competitiveness. I'm excited. I know a player on BYU. And
who do you know?
Keanu.
Keanu Hill.
Yeah. So, we train together, so I'm excited to play them. We've been talking about it just a little bit, but I'm super excited to play.
Okay, so now when you say we've been talking about it, I'm assuming that means trash talking about it. Would that be accurate?
I would say just a little bit. I try not to talk too much, but my trainer went to BYU too. I don't know if you know Margin Hooks.
Absolutely, I know Margin Hooks.
He been
great
talking.
At BYU.
Him and Keanu, they'll talk a little trash. I'll just be like, I'm not gonna say too much. But yeah, I love the competition though.
So have you known Keanu beyond just the training? Is that where you met, or have you known each other prior to?
That's where we met. So we met through training, and we've pretty much been cool ever since.
So you probably have a little bit more of a background on BYU simply because of Margin.
Yeah. Oh
and
yeah.
What do you know of BYU? What do you know about BYU?
He has a lot of stories. He pretty much just talks about like how he played like with a lot of like older guys, like how it's just different from like regular school.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Have you ever been to Utah?
No, I haven't been. I heard about the elevation. They said it's crazy. I'm really curious about the elevation and how different it is.
Right.
But I'm excited just to see how it is though.
I'll tell you, after playing a game there, the next week when you go back down to you'll be able to run for days.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I heard. I heard that.
That's why everybody trains up at elevation, because then when they go back to, then they can. It's no big deal at all.
That's what I heard. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see how it is, honestly. Ooh.
The other part of that is you have Texas and Oklahoma leaving.
Yeah.
So maybe just a quick thought on those two saying goodbye, a little farewell tour.
It's sad. It's pretty sad because, they're like one of the most popular teams in the Big 12.
Yeah.
But it's a new day. I mean, it's time for the new teams to come up. Like, it's just time. It's time for a change. So I'm excited.
All right. Before we go, I want you to look straight into that camera and give Keanu a message. So what would you want to say to Keanu, your training buddy? Into the camera.
They all know what I would say. Because I try not to say too much. I try not.
All right, I won't make.
I try not to do trash talking.
I won't put you in a tough spot.
Yeah, I try not to do no trash talking.
I have a feeling though, even though he doesn't want to do it in camera, next time they see each other, there'll probably be a little something. Yeah, am I right?
Probably a little bit, just a little bit.
All right, man. Appreciate the time. Congratulations. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
When we come back, we've got Mountaineers and Longhorns galore. Welcome back to Behind the Mic. Let's get back to Jason Shepard's Big 12 Media Day interviews with BYU's opponents. Right now, West Virginia linebacker Lee Kpogba.
Finally get to talk some defense. Talk to me about the West Virginia defense. I know last year was not the type of year that the defense wanted. What's it going to take to get that back on track?
Well, just basically focusing on our fundamentals and just going back to the basics. Like last year, I think we got away from fundamentals and basics and like just simple communication. And then at critical times in games, we didn't have the communication we needed, or you know what I'm saying, like somebody was out of place.
Yeah.
But this year, I feel like we really focused on that during spring ball. Like we really focused on going back to the basics, the fundamentals, just getting our basic communication right, and I think it'll go a long way far as like during the season. I think we'll be way better this year on defense.
What gets you excited when you look, because you talked about the communication's better, the guys are reacting better. What gets you excited when you think about this defense and what's possible this year?
Just the guys we have on defense. I mean, we brought in some new guys. I mean, they just came in this spring, but if you came around our team, like you'd think we known each other our whole life. That's just the chemistry that we got since those guys been here, and we play as one. I mean, on defense, like we fly around, we react, we're getting to the ball faster this spring ball, so it'll be exciting to watch.
All of your teammates have talked about the motivating factor that it was to be picked last in the conference, that they kind of viewed it as a little bit of a slap in the face. How did you react to that?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely didn't sit well with me. Being the team captain, it's just being around the facility. It motivates all the guys. You're probably flying guys who have the rankings as a lock screen. We have it all over the facility. Like this is, it isn't the only thing that we've seen that's been saying negative about our team, but we just use it all as fuel. And then, so when the year's over, we'll see where we finish.
As a team captain, what does that aspect mean to you, and how seriously do you take that?
I take that real serious. I take that really serious because being a team captain, like I don't hold myself above others, but I do see myself as someone who has to set the standard. And so when they're trying to say that we're going to finish at the last of the Big 12, I feel like that reflects a lot on just the leadership on the team and things like that. So I'm just trying to lead guys and tell them like we're going to have to prove them wrong. Like it's up to us. We're going to have whatever kind of year we want to have. So.
What type of leader are you? Because there's the real vocal leaders, then there's the ones that they lead by example and let their play do their talking. There's combos. What type of leader are you? I
would say I'm kind of a combo because I play Mike linebacker, so I kind of have to be vocal when I'm making a call. So you got to know everything. Yeah, I don't have a problem being vocal with my team, and of course I got to work hard, lead by example, because if I'm not leading by example, then that'll make me a hypocrite, and guys aren't gonna follow a hypocrite. So I gotta.
Exciting things going on with the Big 12 right now. The 4 additions, BYU obviously being one of them. What were your thoughts on the additions and what they bring to the conference now?
I'm excited. I actually never got to play against any of the teams that just came to the conference, and like last year, it wasn't really that much that separated the top of the Big 12 from the bottom of the Big 12. Like when you're just even looking at games, like all the games were, pretty much close. And so adding these 4 teams, it'll be very interesting to see how it plays out this year. BYU
fans are going to get to experience your atmosphere because the Cougars will come to play at West Virginia. I've been talking to all of your teammates about the environment and what BYU can expect, because there's going to be a lot of BYU fans. BYU fans travel. There's a lot of BYU fans around the country and the world anyway. But what would you say is the best part of a game day at West Virginia?
The best part of a game day to me is just running out that tunnel and just seeing all the fans just cheer. They love it because we don't have any like professional sports teams, so we're it. And they give their all. Like we represent the whole state, so just seeing all those people like lined up ready to support us. Then the end of the games, like whenever we win, just singing country roads, that tradition, like very fun. Like probably the best part.
That is a really cool tradition, singing that song. What's that like to have that type of a tradition? Because I think most college football fans know that tradition. That's a really cool. What does that tradition mean to you?
It means a lot because it means we won first off.
There you go. That's the most important part.
So just getting to win, getting around, getting to interact with the fans, and seeing how happy it makes them. Like just jumping up in the crowd, you get to make a little kid's day just from just giving them a dap, just saying what's up to them. So it means a lot.
Do you have the song downloaded? Is it on your phone?
I do not have the song.
You do not have the song,
but
right.
I promise I could sing it.
You could see. Here's the moment where somebody else would ask him to sing. Now I'm going to give you the option. If you'd like to sing, you can. I'm not going to make you, but if you'd like to sing it, you can.
It's a pretty long song.
It is a long. Can you sing the chorus?
Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country roads. And I might be off a little bit.
No, you nailed it, my man. Way to go, man. Let me tell you, the first interview where we've had somebody sing and he killed it. Thanks for the time. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
Now here is Mountaineer safety Aubrey Burks.
Big 12 Media Day, it's a day of celebration. What does a day like today mean for you, knowing that the season's just around the corner?
It's a pretty fun event to come to, just because this is my first one. Nice to meet people that I never seen before, meet different teammates from other teams, and just, other teams coming in our Big 12 conference, just interacting with them and seeing what they're about. It's pretty nice.
How has the experience been overall? I mean, because like you said, it's fun to come meet new people and new experience. It probably also means something. It means something to you that you were selected as one of the representatives for the team as well.
Yeah. Personally, it's a lot for me. I remember when I first got told that I was coming to the Big 12 Media Day, first thing I did was call my mom. We kind of celebrated through the phone. But it's just real exciting just knowing that you're one person out of the group selected to come here and speak for your team. To tell people about your team is a blessing because they trust you. Your team trusts you, and you got confidence in yourself to come here and speak confident about your team. So that's a blessing for me.
All right, so tell me about your team. Let's start obviously on the side of the ball that you played, the defense. Talk to me about what you expect from this defense this year.
So we added some transfers this year, and basically our whole mindset mentality is to attack, play fast, play downhill for quarter one to quarter four. Last year was kind of slow. Communication kind of killed us a lot. So adding those pieces for depth chart purposes and changing up the defense a little to allow us to play more faster will be an exciting year for us.
You're actually the second person, maybe even the third person, that mentioned the lack of communication as one of the issues last year. How important is that? Because I'm not sure people realize, when you talk about communication, are you talking about actual communication or just guys mentally knowing where to be? When you say communication, what do you mean?
Mentally knowing where to be, honestly. And then, when you go on these road games, you have 60 to 70,000 people screaming, sometimes just even at home screaming. So just knowing where to be in the communication as far as from a safety, that's your quarterback of the defense, putting people in position to where they're supposed to be at, calling different checks. That was a real important thing that we didn't have last year, and I felt like the veteran guys that we added from the transfer portal would help us a lot, especially me and the other safety that's already been there. We got our full year of experience of college football in finally, so we know what to expect. So now it's just time to pass it down to the young guys to bring them along and keep the same communication that we've been going through from spring to summer. Now keep it up and going into the fall and into the season.
How good can the secondary be this year?
As good as we want to be.
And so how good do you think you are?
Only time will tell for that. Only time will tell. I can't say too much. We only been playing against our offense, 7-on-7. We see them every day. They're our brothers. So until we line up against another team, that's when everybody will know how good we can be. Okay,
so give me a scouting report on the offense. You guys, get to face them, as you mentioned, every day in practice. So what's the scouting report on your offense?
We have some elite receivers. We got a ton of receivers that's pretty fast, can push you deep, nice route runners. And then our running back room is 4 running backs that can play. It's 4 running backs that can rush for 100 yards. And then we just added a freshman, 230, so it's like you don't really want to tackle that all game. And then our offensive line, that's where it starts. 4 of our offensive linemen was freshmen All-American when they played. And that's our most returning skill set, position as far as who played the most. So starting up front with them, and they control everything. And then our quarterbacks, we have 2 great quarterbacks, Garrett Green and Nico Marchio, both great. I love both of them to death. They help me get better. I help them get better by showing them different disguise. So just from an offensive standpoint, I feel like with the returning players that we have, I feel like that'll set the tone for defense, and we got to feed off of them, and they feed off of us.
Got some new conference members. What were your thoughts on the 4 new schools coming into the Big 12?
More exposure. That's what I thought immediately when 4 new schools came. Better competition. Big 12 always been competitive.
Yep.
That's one thing I can say since I've been in this conference. So just better exposure for everybody. Playing BYU, playing UCF, Houston teams like that who won a couple conference championships in their old conference. So just having those teams come and will better us, and hopefully we better them.
One of the interesting things about the Big 12, and look, talking with your teammates, everybody hated the fact you guys picked last. I mean, nobody liked that. But the conference, there hasn't been one team or one program that's just dominated for a long period of time. It's this team is good, and then next year it could be another team. This conference feels really wide open, and I've got to imagine that gives everybody confidence that, hey, why can't we be that team?
Yeah. So we've seen the news as far as us being ranked at the bottom of the Big 12. And the only thing we want to prove to ourselves, we know what we can do. We don't have to prove to nobody else but the people inside that building at West Virginia. So once we prove it to ourselves, then everybody else will recognize, like you said, this conference is wide open. It's no true team that truly takes over. So this year shall be fun, especially with adding some new teams.
Yep.
It shall be a great one for the Big 12. And everybody, I know they'll be willing to watch us play and watch everybody else in the Big 12 because it's going to be exciting.
Well, you don't get to go to Provo this year to play BYU. The Cougars are coming to West Virginia. What should Cougar fans expect from game day there?
Our fans. We have a hostile fan. That's one thing I can say. Our fan base, they come 1,000. They come behind us 100%. They always have our back. And it can get pretty ugly as far as with our fan base, but it's a fun place. West Virginia is a fun place to play. I can say that just because as far as the atmosphere there, as a high school athlete, when you looking at college football, you watch that game or any team that comes to West Virginia, you're like, man, that's a great feeling playing college football at a nice stadium like that. That's 60,000 on top of you. So when you guys come or when BYU come in, it shall be a fun one. Yeah. I know you guys are new to the league. So just our fan base, I probably would say, just be ready for that, our fan base.
Very nice. Well, you represented your team well today. Thanks for the time.
Appreciate it.
Finally, Longhorns wide receiver Xavier Worthy.
Have you guys had to talk about the fact of staying in the moment and not worrying about the SEC? Have you guys had to have that conversation, or is that pretty much everyone understands you got to worry about the task at hand?
Yeah, everybody's understanding the SEC, that's going to come. That's going to happen regardless. So we just want to focus on this season and what we have going this season.
How good do you think this offense can be?
I feel like sky's the limit for us. We have so many weapons.
A big thanks to Jason Shepard and all the guests from Texas, West Virginia, and Texas Tech. Download and subscribe to Behind the Mic wherever you find podcasts, or listen to all episodes on the BYU Radio app. Behind the Mic is a production of BYU Radio.